Hi, everyone. This is the delivery system of the ASCA National Model, third edition. So we are on the implementation of the school counseling program. This is where the students' knowledge, attitude, and skills are impacted. This is where you get to actually deliver your school counseling program. So you've done all the work of program planning, you've designed the whole programming. Now you get to actually deliver what you have worked so hard on. And how do you deliver it? You deliver it through your direct and your indirect student services. Direct student services are always in person. So you deliver this directly one-on-one or in a group setting. Indirect services are on behalf of the student. So the student isn't necessarily present. You are collaborating with other professionals. On behalf of the student, you are working with outside agencies. You are working with parents. You are working with a team of educators. You are providing leadership, advocacy, collaboration in order for the student to, in order for the student to enhance their achievement and promote systemic change and equity on behalf of that student. So both approaches, either direct or indirect, is impacting the student achievement. So both of these are equally important. They're just delivered differently. So indirect student services, that one-on-one, that group setting, this is where we provide our curriculum. In school counseling curriculum, it's important to remember that we provide this curriculum to all students, every single one of them. They all receive the curriculum. Whether that is just the general curriculum that we provide to all students all the time, it's your regular curriculum. So whether it's grade 2 on social skills or grade 11 on planning your resume and writing that out and finalizing that for your senior year on student achievement and what they have accomplished in their high school year, whether they get ready to look at what their next steps are, whether it is going on to college or whether it's going into the world of work. It is also individual student planning, whether you meet with these students individually and working on their planning succession, what they're going to do next, or whether it's working with them on, it could be anything. It could be social skills. It could be how to be a good neighbor. It could be what they're going to do next as far as looking at careers goes. And then also, we can never forget about the responsive services, especially lately. Responsive services are those things that you can't plan, especially with the COVID-19. So how are we responding just to the day-to-day things, the things that pop up during the day? A student who is forced to deal with something that they've never dealt with before, the death or the illness of a family member. It could be something equally traumatic as a car accident. It could be something such as a pandemic, which we've never had any experience with before. The thing to remember is that we focus on all three domains: the academic, the social emotional, and the career. And our that we provide all of this, the school counseling curriculum, to all students. We meet individually with students that need a little bit more, and then we provide responsive services. Our curriculum is always developed from our vision, our mission, and our goals. We just need to keep in mind that we always need to remember that we need to be comprehensive in what we're developing, but at the same time, we need to be responsive. Okay, when we look at our school counseling core curriculum, we know that it is planned. It is not something that we just throw together. It is something that is planned, it's sequential, it is comprehensive. So we plan this at the beginning of the year. It is on our calendars, and it is planned out through the entire year. It is preventative, so it is something that we are teaching them in the hopes of educating them to be well-rounded citizens, and it's also developmentally appropriate. So it is something that we would plan. It is our written instructional model, and it is delivered through instruction. Now, it's not necessarily only delivered by us. Sometimes we can't deliver all of it, but we are a part of writing that curriculum. We are part of deciding who is going to implement that curriculum. Maybe it's us. Maybe we are co-teaching it with maybe an outside agency. Maybe we're co-teaching it with someone in our school. Maybe we are providing the curriculum and it's taught during an advisory period. So it's planned curriculum. Or maybe it's developed through some group activities. So maybe it's developed through a field trip. Maybe it's some leadership opportunities, and we do it through there. Maybe it's through community and bus tours and things like that. What are some topics that you can think of that you could do school counseling core curriculum? With that, there are always lesson plans. Now, for you guys, since you're just starting out, I would create that lesson plan off that template and always write that template with it. If you've already been doing this job for a while, obviously the next time you teach it, maybe create the template. Just build that core curriculum with all of the templates components in mind. Okay, individual student planning. This is used to help students write their personal goals and develop their future plans. So when you're doing this, you look through the lens of appraisal and advisement. So appraisal is using things to work with students to analyze their abilities, their interests, their skills, their achievements. So it would be things like career assessments. What are some of their strengths? What ways do they work best with other people? That's appraisal. Advisement is helping them make decisions on what their future plans are, and they're based on the 3 domains. So discussions about their class choices would be appropriate based on what their college major is going to be. That would be advisement. So we use our activities, we use all of those activities that we plan to help students plan, monitor, and manage their own learning so that we help them to achieve academic, social, emotional, and career competencies. So we look at our mindsets and our behaviors, and we focus on the ones that are going to help students reach those personal goals. And then we focus in on what tools or what assessments are going to help us meet those things. So we're very systematic and we're very deliberate in how we're handling our appraisal and our advisement. In responsive services, this is the one where you get to fly by the seat of your pants, more or less. It's immediate needs and concerns that come to you. You're not prepared for them. You don't have a written lesson plan. You don't know who's going to bring what to you. So it might be initiated by a student. It might be initiated by a parent, a teacher, another school counselor. You're not sure. So we don't know. This is going to be the one where you sometimes are taken aback. Sometimes you are surprised. Sometimes you have a little bit of notice that something is happening. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get to see a trend down in grades, and maybe you initiate that contact. Sometimes a teacher comes to you and says, the student just has really been pulling back in my classroom, and I'm not sure why. So sometimes there's some trends there that you get to look at. Sometimes a student comes in and just lets it all out. So there is, you rely on your counseling process. So you rely on that student filling in the gaps of all that is happening. It's always short term. It's always goal focused. And it's always initiated by process. If it is a crisis response, it too needs to be short term. You need to help them process the response. If it's anything bigger than that, then it needs to be referred on, with you being the support while they're being in school. So responsive services is something that shouldn't last for a long, long time. So it's just something that you help the student deal with in the moment, and that moment may last a day or two, but it should never extend and go on and on and on. That's something that they probably need more help with, and more help than what we can give them in school. And I know that sometimes they don't feel comfortable with anyone else other than you, but being in the role that you're in, you can't necessarily give them the type of counseling they need. It's not appropriate in the school setting. It's not appropriate that you bring it up in school all the time. And so that's why we're ethically bound to get them help outside of school. All right, indirect student services. Indirect is a mean to support them in a way that's going to still boost their achievement while at the same time promoting equity and access for all students. I think this is a powerful way to make sure that all students are getting access to all things that they need. Now, sometimes students don't even know that you're being their cheerleader on the sides.